So I'm here in my studio today and I'm going to show you how to do a section of an ascomycete fungi and look at the spores and asci under the microscope. So today we're going to look at this little black cup fungi. It has a little stipe on it and we're going to do a section of that. Looking in the ascomycete fungi of North America by Michael Bugh, and I've seen these enough now to know what they are, so I've identified it as what Michael Bugh refers to in this book as Platania nanfindeltii, which the name has changed now, I think officially, to Donadinia nigrella. So we're going to just double check that this is what I have, and to do that we have to look at some of the microscopic features. So we're going to look for elliptic spores and asci with 8 of those spores in it. So first thing we're going to need is a razor blade to take the section, a spot plate to help us gather those sections so we can get the best one. It helps if you have a pair of forceps to grab those little sections that you make. And then you need a microscope slide for your microscope and a little cover slip to go on top. To mount your slide, you're going to need some distilled water or some reagents. Okay, so in this mushroom we have the hymeneum surface, and on this one, that is the inside of the cup. That is where the spores will come out of. And then the abhymeneum surface, which is the outside of this, and there won't be any spores on this side. So when you take a section of the mushroom, you want to make sure that you're going to see the spores, and so it'll be on the inside of this cup. So how we're going to do that is we're going to take a little section off of this mushroom like this. So you can see I've just cut out a little piece all the way through the mushroom. So I have some of the hymeneum surface, some of the abhymeneum surface, and then some of the flesh as well. This surface on this side here is the hymeneum surface, and if you flip this little piece over that I cut, there we go, that's the abhymeneum surface. So I'm going to try and get a really thin section cutting this way. So I've loaded up my spot plate with some DI water so the material can float in there. And now I'll try and get a super thin okay, there's a really thin section, but it's actually still too thick. So I'm going to try again. And that is looking like a good one there. So I'm just going to float it in here while I get some more. So there's another section. It's kind of thin, but I think I can go thinner. The thinner you go, the better, the easier it'll be for you to see under the microscope. So in here are some little sections, and I'm just going to put them on here. With a drop of water. Try and get another one of these. So then we take our cover slip and you just lay it on top. So I like to squash mount my stuff. So that means I just press on it a little bit, try and get the air bubbles out. My sections aren't thin enough to be perfect, so my cover slip moves around a little bit. Okay, so now this slide is some little sections on it. You can see the cover slip on there, water in between the cover slip and the slide. Now this is ready to go in the microscope. I'm at my microscope now, and I've got an awesome little camera that goes in my microscope lens so that I can see what I'm doing on my computer screen. So I'm just gonna hook all of this up right now so I can see what's going on. I have my microscope set up at like times 100. So it's a good place to start for me so I can sort of see exactly where we are on the slide. Okay. So here's the slide that I just made. I'm going to put it in my microscope here and pull it up. So now I'm going to adjust my microscope and get an idea of where we are on it. I'm starting to see some stuff on here besides air bubbles. So I'm going to focus in. Okay, I see some asci and parophyses and spores. And as I zoom in, they get focused. The spores are elliptical, which is right in line with what the Donadinia nigrella is. So you would want to read through the microscopic features that's listed in your books and just sort of check things off. And if they match up, then you would have the mushroom that's showing in this book. So let's look. Okay, so now I'm going to move up to a times 400 so I can really see these spores. And I need to adjust all the lighting and stuff so that I can see it They are elliptical, about a 2-to-1 ratio, elliptical. And they do have little oil droplets in them. And let's see, the paraphyses are abundant, it says, and there's tons of them in here. So that is how you would look at something under the microscope.